Hello, and thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining us at the movement, where we are a motivational organization geared to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. We are a movement to move, and we just thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight. Myself and Anderson have been preparing some awesome discussions for us on these Wednesday nights, and we're grateful that without you guys, we wouldn't have that discussion. But we're grateful that you guys are here and that we're able to go into these discussions and help each other. Annette, you want to say something? I'm going to hold on 1 second before you do that, Annette. I'm going to mute everybody. Let me carry all children in the room. I'm going to mute everybody, and then we can unmute when. Let's turn it. Hold on. All right, Annette, you're unmuted. And anytime you
Yes.
guys want to talk, you can unmute yourself. And sometimes, for some reason, sometimes people unmute and don't really realize it, but I'm watching it. So go ahead, Annette, before I get started.
Again, as Anita's already said, we are a motivation organization. We uh, want to see you win. We want to encourage, inspire you, and push you to your destiny. You know, some people will walk, some may crawl, and others may have to be pulled to your destiny. But whatever way you get there, we're here to help you get there. So thank you so much for being with us tonight, and we're expecting great things.
Yes, we are. There's some good stuff happening. There's some
Mm.
good stuff happening. We are tonight. Our topic. Um, it's a strange topic, and I actually stole this topic from a song that my cousin put out years ago, like in the '70s. She had a song called "You Can't See for Looking," and that's actually where we're going tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get us into our presentation here. You can't see for looking. Wow. Let me tell you something. I have for I would say, for the last 6 months, well, maybe less than that. I'll say for the last 4 to 5 months of this year, I found myself right here. I've been looking for that change. I've been looking for that move. I've been looking for something to happen. And I know something's supposed to happen, but what it is, for some reason, for me, I can't really quite put my finger on it. But the one thing that I said to myself, Anita, you're just going to have to let things flow the way they flow. I know that oftentimes we try to push things into a place, we try to make it happen, we try to um, force something to happen. Nothing's going to happen until it's time. When it's time to happen, it happens. You just have to relax and you just have to let things go the way they go. Now, when I look at the words to her song, she says, in her song, she says, "It's so easy for someone to tell you something bad about me, because that's what your ears want to hear, than it is for someone to tell you that I'm being a good woman and loving you, my dear. But I'm going to try to do the very, very best I can to get you to understand that when you look for trouble, you're going to find it somewhere, because you can't see for looking." There's another song by back in the day that came to my mind. It was by, I used to love him back in the day, Peabo Bryson.
Yeah.
And he had a song called "Let It Flow." And in that song, he said, "It was too late when I realized that I couldn't see the forest for the trees." That's a very deep line to me.
Yeah,
And I've used
powerful.
that in a lot of cases with people. When you start looking for stuff, you're looking for something and you are putting yourself in a position to try and create something that's not there.
Yes.
Stop looking for something to change and know that it's going to. And I had to put myself there because I was like, I kept looking and looking and looking and looking and looking. It's almost like what happens when somebody prophesies to you. You get a prophecy, you get a word, and you just sit there and wait.
Yeah.
I got a prophecy. And the prophecy said, I'm gonna be rich. Okay, everybody's not gonna be rich. And a lot of times, like I hear people say, speaking this stuff over people. That's not everybody's faith. And there are people who will sit there where after somebody's prophesied, they're gonna get married. I see you in an all white dress. Oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. And then they start sitting back and waiting for that moment to happen. But you have to learn how, even when you see the vision, you have to get to work.
That's it.
And it's a long time before you get to that place. Sometimes long time, short time. However it is, there's going to be a period of time before what you see actually comes to fruition. So don't sit there and look around every corner and under every rock trying to see it. Because you're looking for something that it's already been manifested, but you just have to work for it until it's time. You can't see the baby before the baby born. You can look at the sonogram all you want to. And nowadays they've gotten good with this little 3D thing. You can kind of sort of see it. Still look like a little pile of pudding to me. But I guess it's better than the ones back in the day. At least for me, I can see the little black and white ones. I can see the shape of the head. Oh, look at that head. We got that big knob on the back of the head like that kind of thing. But when you're trying to see something and hold it and have it before it's time, and it has to go through a process. So that's where we are tonight. We're at You Can't See for Looking. So let's kind of go into this thing. Let's make this thing live a little bit.
Yes.
Now, the thing about our eyesight, we're going to go through this physical aspect and we're going to go through a spiritual aspect. The physical aspect is regular vision, your eyesight. What actually happens here? It's a picture that you see in your mind. Your mind picks up this image that you see, and there are things that happen after that, because what you see, you can only see something that's physical reality. That's the whole thing with vision. With regular, we're talking about just regular old sight. The retina converts the information that has come into your eyes. You have light and you have the information that comes into the retina, and it converts the information. And then your brain is the translator of the information that the retina has converted. So those are the things that happen with regular sight. Now, you've heard us say this a lot. We've talked about how once you see something, you have to envision it. Now, here we have a physical, and then we have a spiritual. When you see something in your mind, you have to take it here. You have to envision it. You have to imagine it as though it were already true. We've talked about how a painter gets in front of that canvas, and a painter will stand back and look up into the sky. And sometimes I'm like, wow, I want to see what you see. I've had people say this to me about music, because oftentimes I'm sitting still and I'm tapping my foot or I'm rocking, and I heard somebody say, boy, I want to hear that song. And in my mind, I can hear the whole orchestration. I can hear everything. So this is what happens when we see that thing. We have to sit back and imagine it as though it were true. And that's what envisioning means. You're imagining. Just like the eye, we're comparing that physical vision to the spiritual vision. Your spirit perceives it. Your mind imagines it. You're taking that thing a step further. And then your heart converts it. So once we get this whole idea of what does it mean when we see something, when we're visualizing something and we envision something, how do we take that and incorporate that into what we're dealing with now? Glad you asked.
Yes, I want to know.
There was a song that Robin Thicke had out a while back. I think it was with Pharrell. I think he got sued about that from the Marvin Gaye's family, called Blurred Lines.
Yeah.
When we're dealing with our sight, there are so many different things that happen. We're dealing with what we see, whether it's the physical manifestation sitting right in front of us or whether it's the spiritual manifestation. We have several different phases that we go through. We've already talked about regular sight, like what we see, what we physically see. And then we're talked about what we envision. Those are our dreams. Now, when you have that vision and you envision, those are those things that are inside. And the thing is, you'll see it. You'll see it just as clear as day.
Yeah, you're right.
But other people don't see it. And where we have the problem is that we allow everything to become blurred and we get so thrown off course. And we're going to pause right here after this next one and we're going to talk about this thing for a minute. Because what ends up happening is that we get to this place here where we start to allow, remember we talked about how we allow other people to repaint the vision that we've envisioned. Mm-hmm. We allow all of this outside influences and distractions and all of this stuff to come in, and it makes us go into a place to where we're having optical illusion. Let's stick a pin in that right there. An optical illusion. Now that's something that when I looked at this particular, of course I had to break this thing down.
I know.
Because a lot of times when we're talking, like Annette and I will have these discussions before we have the discussion. So we're sitting back and we're talking, and Annette be going a mile in a minute. I don't know if you all could hear us in our preparation mode. It is the funniest thing, because Annette will just be talking, and sometimes, and such, and sometimes, you know what else, Anita, and blah 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 blah, and I'm typing, right? And she said, okay, well, so how many points we need? I said, that I already have them. You said all of them, right? In that whole conversation, you gave me everything I needed. What? Really? I said that. So when we start discussing and we're putting down information and we're talking like, wow, this is like really mind blowing. Optical illusions is something that deceives the eye by appearing to be something other than it is. Mm-hmm. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, when they're talking about magicians, they refer to them as illusionists. Basically, an illusion is a misleading image that is presented to the vision. Oh, I don't know if y'all got that.
She felt that one, y'all.
Yeah. It's a misleading image presented to the vision. That gave me chills, because so many times, now think about this from your practical state when it comes to what you're working on, when it comes to that thing that you're trying to accomplish, when it comes to that business that you're trying to build, when it came to your book, Annette, when it came to your ebook that you thought you were never gonna finish that one. And you're like, if the real thing is anything like this, But when you faced that first obstacle that was telling you it was going to be hard for you to get what you needed to get done to get off the ground, it looked real, didn't it?
Yeah, you're right. It did.
It was a misleading image
Yeah,
that was presented to the vision.
that's right.
It
Because your
was
mind
not
can play
real.
tricks on you, Anita.
That was the other song. That was
Oh,
the other song I had, was My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me.
yeah.
That misleading image. And it has the nerve to be presented to the vision.
Yeah.
That is something. So it comes all up in your stuff, all up in your way, and presents itself as something that it's not.
Yeah.
And because we see it, we believe it. We just take it at face value. You know why? Why is it that we see that?
Because if it when it seems real, and what happens is once it's there, because what it does, it moves in, it takes resident. And you know how somebody move in
Mm-hmm.
and you want them out, but you just can't kick them out just like that. And
Mm-hmm.
we allow that to move in and tell us,
Mm-hmm.
they're taking resident, they got a room, they they got their own bathroom and everything. And it's so hard to get rid of them. It's just
But you
difficult.
know what? You know what the main thing is, though, as to why we see it? Because we're looking for it. We keep looking for the thing that's going to make it not happen. Well, I know I'm going to try and write my book, and I don't know how I'm going to get it done because I ain't got no money. But Lord help me, I'm going to do the best I can. No, you're looking for that misleading image of lack to come and stand right in and present itself in front of your vision. Oh,
Yeah.
I really want to have I really want to do my business. I really want to open my catering business. I really want to have my clientele. I really want to do my cookbook and start my cooking show. I really do want to do this. I really want to just make this thing happen. But I don't know how it's going to happen because, don't nothing ever happen good for me. And, it seems like every time I tried to do this about 5 years ago. And in the middle of me trying to do it, everything under the sun happened. And, my child, my children got to go to school. And I got bad knees and I can't really get out there. And I can't. Oh, my goodness. You sound familiar?
Yes, it
We
does.
start
It almost
talking
like you're
ourselves out of
sabotaging
it.
yourself. Yeah, you're sabotaging your own self.
We're sabotaging it. And the thing is, because here's this thing that's been presented to our vision, and we start going off into something else, which happens in optical illusions, called hallucinations. We start seeing stuff that's not even there.
Wow.
It's a hallucination. Or we're being intellectually deceived or misled, which is a misapprehension. That right there, that is a very, very deep thing that we have to learn to deal with in our life. We have so many instances where we've allowed little things to come up and step right in the middle of us and our destiny. And I want to challenge everybody on here today. Stop looking for that negative thing. Stop looking for the problem. Stop looking for the roadblock. Stop looking for those things that usually, okay, guess what? You didn't have no money yesterday. So you don't have any today, and you're probably going to have any tomorrow either. But guess what? It is what it is. You deal with what you have. You make something work with what you have. Don't try and build up something that's even an illusion from the beginning. You don't have $1 million resources. So Don't do something in the $1 million right now because you're trying to get there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a $1 million status vision. But right now, you can't give filet mignon out at your workshop. So you better make some double eggs and call it a day.
Amen. That's true.
That's one more egg than they had when they walked in. So you deal with what's there. You handle with what's there. And don't build an illusion even for yourself before you even get started. I can tell you, I have been guilty of this because you know what? I want to do everything big. I want everything right now. I got to have it right now. I got to do it right now. I need it in this moment. I just can't wait. I can't wait until I get there. No, I got to do it right now. And I want to have everything that I see in the end right now. Not going to happen. So I want to go to another piece here. Very interesting.
Oh.
So we have blurred lines. We talk about sight, dreams, optical illusion. And here's what they got me. Inattentional blindness. Inattentional blindness. Now this one right here, I was like, what in the world is inattentional blindness? Did not get it. Did not understand it. Of course, I always have to go to my little information. What is inattentional blindness? I mean, we can't see what's right in front of us because of potential distractors.
Wow.
The real thing is right there, but there are incorrect assumptions that inhibit our ability to see what's right there. Your blessing is right there. Your breakthrough is right there. But inattentional blindness says it's not there. We can't see it. How many times have you been looking for your keys and they're looking right at you? I remember one day I was leaving the house and I couldn't find my keys nowhere. And that was a big thing for me, especially when after Amori was born, because she would have my keys and I would have to remind myself to go looking. I have actually found my keys before in Amori's little purse. But most of the time she would bring them to me and I wouldn't realize, because I had a habit that when I came home from work, I would put my keys on the table. But this one particular day, I don't know how they ended up there, but I have these tall candle holder things that I would keep on my table, and my keys somehow ended up inside of one. And it was virtually see-through, where you could kind of see it, but you can't. But if you're not looking for it, you don't see it. And I'm looking everywhere, and I think I have looked everywhere on the table. And I'm like, there's nothing else on the table. But I didn't look inside everything on the table.
Wow.
Because right there, inside the glass, were my keys. And I had gone and turned the car upside down, the room upside down. Everybody in the house was looking, and I was late because I couldn't see what was right in front of me. I couldn't see for looking, and that was inattentional blindness. And I was right there in that state. And that's a strange state to be in.
Yeah, it is.
It's when something is right there in front of you and you can't see it. You're like kind of stuck. Like, what do I do from here? How do I get to see what's right in front of me. Inattentional blindness. That's a weird thing, y'all.
Yeah.
But have you been there though?
Yes, too many times.
But have you been there in your vision, in the state that you're trying to, as far as you're trying to get to your business and get to your calling and get to your movement or whatever it is that you're building?
Yes, I have. Because I went just like you, the same thing. Like, I don't have enough money. Well, this is going to stop me. Even with my keys, when you was talking about your keys, I started laughing because one time I left, for whatever reason, I was in the refrigerator. And that's on, and I looked in the refrigerator for what I like, no, I didn't, these keys can't be in the refrigerator. And they were there. They were there. So yeah, life will get you kind of off kill and what's right there all the time. When you get a breakthrough, you like, it's that simple. It's been like that. That's all I had to do. And we done told ourselves like, oh, I can't do this. You're like, that's it. All I had to do is go do this. Do A, B, C.
All I had to do this was just exactly, Zakia.
Yeah.
All I had to do, she was like, yes. All I had to do was this the whole time. And if I would have just done this, I wouldn't even be having these problems. And you look back in retrospect, you're like, oh my goodness, I was so stupid. How did I not see that?
Yeah.
How did I not pick up on that?
Yeah. It was
How did I not realize? Where did I miss the red flag?
It's right there.
Wow. And sometimes it's right there. I want to show y'all a picture because sometimes it's right there and we don't see it. Like we look at this bathroom. Now, when I say find the toothbrush, when you look at this picture and you're looking for the toothbrush, everybody's going to go right here, right?
Yes.
You can't brush your teeth with that. We're so busy looking for everything to show up like that that we don't even realize it was right there. That's the one that you have to use. But we're looking at that big one on the wall because we think that everything that comes is coming like that. I want to see you put that in your mouth. And what happens is we have so many other things, boom, boom, distraction, 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 distraction. We're looking around at everything, all of these things that are distracting us. And we can't even see the one thing that we're actually supposed to see. That's that inattentional blindness. Then also, there have been times that we have been right here. How many times have you been right here?
So many. The
main thing that you're supposed to see, you don't see. But we get caught up in la la land. Ooh, look at the mountains. They're so pretty. Oh. Look at that. Look at the mountain. Look at the trees. So prettiful. And then we can't even see that there's danger that's possibly coming from there. Because we're so caught up and we can't see for looking. We can't see the obvious because we're caught up. We have to make sure that we get this here straight. This is an area of our lives that we have to get straight. And I'm going to tell you, because you don't want to be right here. Now, this is some people's actual state, and it's not, it's not a laughing matter. As a matter of fact, my artist, Katie Steele, as beautiful as she is and young, and I think from the time that the poor baby was like probably about 8 years old, Katie has been legally blind. Legally blind means that you don't see 20/20, you'll see like 2200, meaning that an object that is, I think it's 200 feet away, you have to be 20 feet in front of it to even see it. And when you can't see something from that distance, you're considered legally blind. It's a medical condition. It doesn't mean that you're blind, but your vision is so impaired that you have to be right up on something to see it. And there's sometimes, you know, we're going to get a warning or a green light for something that's a little ways ahead. And if you can't see it at a distance that you're supposed to be able to see, now I'm talking from a spiritual standpoint, if you can't see from that distance, you're going to be in trouble. Because if there's warning right here, hello, stop sign, but you're looking at the mountains. Oh, you've missed it. You've missed the warning sign. Hello, wrong move. Don't date him. Oh, he's so cute. Don't date him. Don't marry him. He loves me. He bought me a diamond. Don't do it. Hello, don't buy that purse. It's going to set you too far back. But I like it. It's so pretty. Hello, don't do it. Guilty? Huh? Hello? I mean, how many times?
Yeah, we caught up in what we see. But we're not seeing what we've really been caught up with. So, yeah.
Say that again. I need you to say that.
I say sometimes we caught up with what we see, but we're not seeing what we're really being caught up with. So, you know, sometimes it's blurred, it's distorted. Because legally blind means there's a shadow. And, you know, when in a shadow, sometimes you can't always make it out. And that's why we get caught up, because we're looking at it, but we can't really, it looks good, but we really can't really make it out.
You can't make out what it is.
What it is. But it looks good from afar, but it's fuzzy. If I take my glasses off now, it's fuzzy. Mm-hmm. You know, it looks good, but you know, because of the legal blindness, I'm getting a distorted view of what the truth is.
I remember having this conversation with somebody. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Brenda and myself was having this conversation with somebody, and we were saying, be careful how you start having these little love conversations with a sister in the dark club, because eventually the lights are going to come on. And in the club, everybody cute. Everybody look good in the strobe light be going. You look like you could dance. You be all cute, boy. Oh, you look good in the strobe. That's why we used to always say to the people who were in the pageants and stuff back in the day. I used to be in a lot of pageants, and it was always about 2 or 3 girls who would do this dance, and then all of a sudden the strobe light come on, and they're like, and the strobe light is going, and they look like they moving. They ain't doing nothing. Everybody looks good in the strobe light. Everybody looks good in the club light. But boy, when that light come on, boop, all reality sets in.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, Anita? I saw this one with Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where he met this girl, and they got locked up in the room. But anyway, she started taking off little layers.
Yes.
And and that's how we are. You know, I kept, we would start taking off layers, and then when you get to the real deal, it's nothing like it started out.
He was like, "Who are you?" And when she took off her eyelashes and her nails, and he went, "Oh, yes," because she didn't even resemble the girl who got locked downstairs with him. And that happens. It's like that club light is on, and everybody's great, but you got some legal blindness going on. Mm-hmm. That club light or that illusion and that legal blindness is setting. You can't see, and you got to get stuff out of your way that's clouding that vision. I'm telling you, it's something. Because the other thing is, you can also go all the way from seeing very clear to being totally blind, where there's complete darkness. And when you are blind, completely blind, you're not seeing anything. That is just a state of being completely lost. And this is nowhere that I want to be. I know this is nowhere that you want to be. So we got to get ourselves out of this. Now, when I first started wearing glasses, which I can't find them, and those glasses are a car note. I should have given up 5 years ago because I allowed another 5 years to go by, and now I really can't see. So my sight has gotten much worse. So I need to go. I'm going the first of the year to finally get some glasses because I'm tired of doing like this. I can't even read the back of a bottle anymore. I have to take a picture and then blow it up. I can't see it. I can't see anything. So I'm like, okay, I'm a realist. I know, okay, 50 has set in. The eyes are not as great as they were at 30 because I used to be able to see everything. I could see anything around the corner all the way back. I can't see nothing. So I wore progressive lenses, and progressive lenses, are those lenses that allow you to see everything. It's like it corrects all parts of your vision. So The thing about it is it's multifocal.
Mm-hmm.
So and that I think it was you were the one who said you didn't have to get the ones that had the line in them.
Yeah.
You could get them with the line, but you don't have to. But I used to see my mom back in the day. She wore her glasses, and she had bifocals, and it was normal up top, and then it was that one part at the bottom that looked like you could magnify something times 100. And I used to be like, God, she must be blind, and she can't see nothing. Because when you look at that part, it was like you couldn't see, and that was just weird to me. I used to put on the glasses sometimes and be spinning around looking crazy. But imagine if you had to have a line for every focal point in a progressive lens. It's a wonderful thing that you don't have to because it gives you a smooth transition between objects. Mm. So where we want to get to is the point that we have progressive sight. And it's attainable, people. You don't have to be I'm going to tell you, we choose to be in the state that we're in sometimes. We choose to be blind. We choose to be deaf. I have heard people say, I'm good not knowing. I'm good being where I am. And I'm not, but that's not Anita. I'm not good not knowing. Mm-hmm. I need to know and I need to see. Call me nosy or whatever, but I need to be able to see everything and do what I need to do because I have to be in the know. And for me to be able to go through the process of having a multifocal situation or a situation where I can see a smooth transition between the obstacles and the objects and the things that are coming at me, I have to get there. I have to be there.
Yeah.
I have to be able to be up on the things that are coming at me. Because I don't want to be in a state where I can't make out, what's coming. And I know that being able to do that is available to me. I don't have to choose to be blinded. I don't have to choose to not be multifocal. It's a choice. I choose to be able to have corrected vision because what progressive sight does is it corrects your vision at all distances. So I want to know, when I start out at the beginning, I know I'm not going to see everything.
Yes.
But I want to see what I need to see.
Yes.
I don't want the illusions and the distractions. I know they're going to come, but I want to see them coming so I can deal with it.
I agree with that.
Because going into 2019, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. I can see that people's lives are going to start, like, especially for those of you who are where I am or where we are, where we've been talking. If you've been coming on here on Wednesday night, you're planning to do something because what we're sharing is stuff that we have put this stuff in place in our lives to move past where we were to get to where we're supposed to be. You couldn't have told me in 2017, even though I knew I had the capacity, but you couldn't have told me by this time I will have written 2 books. I looked at my book yesterday, me and Annette were like, what?
Yeah. Right.
Like, I got a book. A real book. Like, really?
A for real book.
A for real book.
Yeah.
Like, and this wasn't something I started years ago. This was something I started writing in October. And I'm like, what? I could do that the whole time. See, that's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. You mean to tell me I could have done this all along? Then why the heaven eggs did I just get it at 50?
Yeah.
Like, really? And I want to tell you, Zakia and Marilyn and Sharon, you don't have any more. Glenda told us this that last week. You don't have any more time to waste. Mm-hmm. Every second of your day has to count. Everything that you do has to matter. You don't have time for foolishness. You don't have time to waste. Because 2018 is gone.
Few days, it's over.
Quick.
It's over.
That's the fastest year, even though it felt like one big day, like Zakia said, it felt like one big long day. It has been an entire year.
It was.
Wow. God help my sight. I want to see. Y'all want to see? I want to see. Type that in. I want to see. I want to see. I'm going to type this in under here because that's a good one. I want to see. I need to see. I can't do without seeing. I got to know what's happening. I want to see, y'all. I want to see. Oh, took me a minute to get mine in. But I see, y'all. I want to see. So, I once was blind, but now I see. And this is how we're gonna get there. This is what's gonna get us there. You have to evaluate your surroundings. Don't take this part lightly. And I will keep saying this until you give me your testimony about your vision, your book, your movement, your dream, your ministry, whatever it is that you're trying to start. Trust me, everybody on here has something they're supposed to do. You are still breathing. You are not here to just get up and go to work, come home, watch TV, cook, eat dinner, and go to bed and do it all over again the next day. You have something special that you're supposed to be doing. You have a legacy, you have a business, you have a ministry, you have an organization, you have a movement, you have books, you have classes to teach, you have a lot of stuff to do. You are still breathing. There is so much potential. But in order for you to get to that place, you got to evaluate your surroundings. And you gotta get rid of the stuff that's not supposed to be there and the people that are not supposed to be there. And you gotta make everything around you right. Trust me, this is a must. There is no way that I could have ever gotten my book finished that fast. I really thought I had pegged, I'm such a perfectionist, and I'm that type of person that tries to analyze everything. I really thought it was going to take me like 6 months to a year to get where I've gotten since October. And I'm not talking about the beginning, I'm talking about the middle of October. And honestly, from the middle of October until like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I haven't touched it for 3 weeks. So that means it's been like a month and a half of work. And I'm looking at it like I actually could have done this a long time ago. But you have to evaluate your surroundings, because the only way that you're going to see is that you have to move stuff out of the way. Now, is it next week, Annette? Because next week we're going to be talking about decluttering and dechattering.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Trust me, you want to be here. because these are the things that you got to do moving into 2019. Because I know, and we got the word last week that the time between sowing and reaping is accelerated. That's a shortened period. We're living in an accelerated time frame. It's going to keep moving. If you think 2018 moved fast, you wait until 2019. And I don't know about you, but I want to be ready for what's to come. I want to be in that wind. I don't want to be one of the ones waiting behind looking like, oh, look what they doing. Look what she had, but what she got there? No, I'm going to be in that number. I want to be there. And I believe that I'm supposed to have all that I've seen, so I'm exhausting it all. And you better be ready. So we're going to be talking about that next week. Talk about evaluating your surroundings. You got to declutter. You got to dechatter. When I do this, when I actually put myself in the right place, I can see my ordered steps. There's nothing like having that clouded vision, that clouded position to where you can't see what's going on. I can see now. I can see the steps that have been ordered for me. What about that one, Annette?
Yes, yeah. Yeah. And then you know what, Nita, some of us just need to open our eyes. That's the problem. We're not even blind. A lot of us not blind. We just need to open our eyes.
Or we have on sunglasses.
Yes.
We're trying to be cool.
Yes. Yeah. Open your eyes and see what God have for you. You know, we get so caught up in life, because I'm guilty, and so much is going on, and we so focused on that. Like you said earlier, I'm good. I'm good. No, you're not good. No, you're not. Open your eyes, and see, and go forth. I was looking at I think the Q85 Quincy Jones, and I was looking at the little blind blind dude standing there. He was standing up there playing. I was thinking to myself, don't move. you better stand still. You stay right there, because but what was interesting about this man, Stevie Wonder, he was blind. He's totally blind, but he still will do things that people who have sight will never do.
Exactly.
And that's how it is. We have sight, we have vision, we have insight, and we just need to just open our eyes and go forward.
And exercise the law of attraction, because now when you're focused, when you're focused, all of the things that you see, you can make that stuff happen. It's there for you to see it for a reason. You see it, envision it, and believe it. That's the real law of attraction.
Yeah.
Man thinking. So is he. But if it just stays there in your mind as just a thought, then nothing happens. And you got to show up. You got to show up for what you see. You got to put the work in. And when you do those things, you know that you're going to win. We talk about this. This is our saying. Show up, engage, and win. Don't just let there be a vision in your mind. No. Show up. Then you get to work. Because when you show up for the vision and you engage in working, you're present and you're engaged, you're going to win. That's a fact. You don't have to be blind. There was a time that I was blind. There was a time that I couldn't see. I spent a lot of time second guessing and shortchanging my life because I just did not believe what I saw. See, somewhere along the way, we get caught up in what people think and what we think people think and what we believe somebody might say or how they might feel, that we fail to operate and walk in what we see. We fail to envision what we see. It's like, stop being worried about what other people think. And stop, being distracted by that optical illusion, by that image that has been presented to the vision. No, because guess what? It's an illusion. It's not real. It has no substance. What has life is what has been given to you in your gut. That thing that you can't go to sleep at night from thinking about it. And when you wake up in the morning, it is bugging you. And you at work and you like, oh my goodness, I can't wait till I can get to this. I got to get this done. I got to get this out of me. It just continues to pull and pull and pull and pull. And you feel like you're not productive. You don't feel good because you know that there's something else. That's vision. That's purpose. And you have to see it. You got to take those blinders off. You ain't cool because you're wearing shades on the inside. Take them shades off. That ain't even cute. I hate when I see people do that. Like, it is not dark in here. I see no sun. Why are you wearing sunglasses inside? That's not cute to me. It's not cute to me for even a celebrity. I'm like, please take them sunglasses off. You just walked in a building and it's nighttime. You can't even see your feet. Why are you wearing sunglasses? That is ridiculous to me. And when you do that, you're not hiding you, you're hiding from you. In your mind, you're hiding. But guess what? I see you. And I can see your eyes through the lenses too. Take the shades off. Take the blockers off. Take that visor off. Move out from under the shade and the shadow of somebody else. Move from under the shadow of a person that you feel who has more than you. Get from under their wing and under their shadow. They got theirs. They're doing their thing. Get from under the shadow of your own insecurities. Come from behind the curtain. Get to where you can see. Move all of that mess out of your way. Move all of that junk out of your path. Sit down and write this stuff down. Sit down and write that vision. Sit down and put those thoughts together. Put those thoughts on paper. Make that thing happen. Stop standing back in the background. I cannot stand a person who wallflowers. I want to push you out so bad. Now, I'm not saying everybody's got to be that out front person who's like the court jester who's always got to make everybody laugh and command the whole room. Not everybody has that. Some people have that as a gift, and some people are just purely annoying. They want to be seen. But I'm talking about just, you're special. Stop thinking of yourself as small. You're special. You have something great. You might not be as outspoken. God knows I got a big mouth. You might not be as outspoken as me. You may not be as confident as Brenda. You may not have, whatever. Who cares? Guess what? Zakia, Marilyn, Ebony, hey baby, I see you on. Sharon, Carrie, all of you have something special. So allow your special to shine. I want my special to shine. I want my special to be on the board like at the Chinese restaurant. Special. I want my special to be. I thought that was a little special comment. I see you laughing, Brenda, but y'all know I'm special. Y'all know I'm special anyway. And for those of you who are watching this on replay, Anita Faye Wilson is special. I don't care. It's a part of my personality. You would think something was wrong with me if I did not do it. But I want to see your name on the special, Annette. I want to see your name on the special, Brenda. I want to see your name, Zakia. Stop hiding, Zakia. Zakia's got a lot of gifts. Zakia got so many gifts. I'm putting you on Front Street. Zakia's got so much stuff that she know how to do. I want Zakia to pinpoint in and just start doing some of it. And to keep doing it. A lot of gifts. She shouldn't be working for nobody. She's gifted. Gifted. A lot of streams of revenue. I know one stream of revenue that she got, that she can put that stream of revenue together and it'll pay for the other stream. She got stuff that she started doing before people started doing it. And we get distracted. We get those optical illusions, the inattentional blindness, and we stop. Trust me, I've been there too. So that's how I know, and I know Zakia, and she know I know. We have optical illusions and inattentional blindness. Sometimes it just comes in our way. But guess what? God is a restorer. And if he gave it to you then, guess what? He's giving you it in 2.0 for now.
Yeah.
Because some stuff that I'm doing now, God gave me 15, 20 years ago, and I'm finally doing it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got a book. Brenda, I got a book. I'm an author. Finally. It's been, what, 20 years? Finally, though. And it's like, really? That took me all of a couple of months to get to that point. But it's like, wow. Who would have thought? And when you can figure out how to get that thing, to tell you, we have some information that we want to give out so bad that can take you through those steps. Stuff that we have put to work that will take you from lack to surplus, that will take you from not having it to getting past start, to where you actually look up and you in the middle of what you started. Like, what? I really did this? I really got this building? How did I do that? How did I get this renovated? How did I get a record? Somebody tell me. Can somebody please tell me how I got a recording studio? How did I get a recording studio? How? I'm baffled. But you know what? When you make yourself available and when you follow certain principles and you just get started with what you have and stop being fearful and stop being blindsided, you can do it.
Yeah.
I believe every one of you can do it.
You have to have a Damascus experience.
Oh, preacher.
Yeah, you have that, because when I finished the ebook, I told Nita, if it was not in me, there's no way I would have finished. I would have quit like halfway through that, like, forget this. But somewhere along the way, the scales fell from my eyes. And I was blind. And as I began to put it together, it began to make sense. It felt like, it is so stupid. But I kept going. So, I was like Paul, those scales fell. And God allowed me to see. And I finished it. I finished it. And I'm telling you, when I say I danced the jig, because I never thought, but it's something when you've been blind so long, and sometimes you don't even know you're blind. Somebody else have to tell you you're blind. Somebody have to tell you, girl, now you need to you can't see, something going on with you. So somebody had to tell me I was blind, and somebody had to tell me that I could do it, and somebody else had to encourage me to do it, and somebody had to tell me, don't give up. And that's what we're doing with the movement. We're telling you, you can do it. Don't give up. Don't walk away. Stand firm. It don't matter what it looks like. We had no money, and still, if the truth be told, still don't have any. But it don't stop what's on the inside. Your limitation is you, not your resources. And that's what I had to learn. I thought it was my resources, but it really was me. Because if I step out, God will give me the resource. Somebody come along and slip a little piece of money in my hand, like my mama would say, a little piece of money here. You never know. Somebody may see it tonight and say, you know what, I'm going to bless those young women there. You don't ever know. But you are your limitation, not your resource. So open your eyes, girl. Be able to see y'all. It's there.
That's true. And the funny thing was, Annette and I know where you are. I knew where you were when you started that process, because I was in the middle of both the regular book and
no.
And I was calling Annette, texting her, you all right, Annette? How you doing? How's it looking? How's it coming? And she'd be like, girl, I'm still typing. Girl, I'm still pecking away. Oh, Lord. I'll be done in about an hour. And then the next day, how's it looking? Girl, I'm still pecking.
Yeah, I said, oh, boy.
And I said, don't be discouraged. And that, me too. Yeah. And I would just, and I would have to, let me get on Zoom with you real quick. And I'll get on Zoom with her for a few minutes, but I'll encourage her, and she keep on pecking. Next day, how you doing? Girl, I'm still pecking. But I think I'm in the home stretch. And the thing was, we had a due date. And Brenda, you know how Claudette is with those her little due dates. So we had the due date, and we had to get the stuff in. And it's like, oh God! And it seemed like that date was just coming. It seemed like that date was sprinting. When she gave it to us initially, we're like, oh yeah, we can make that. Boy, that date started getting closer and closer and closer. But you know what? When you put your mind to it, and you have to deal with your limiting beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
You have to deal with, and you have to disintegrate and annihilate your limiting beliefs. And you have to focus, and you have to learn, listen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop looking for this book to look like everybody else's ebook that I see. And I have to get the information down, because it ain't time for it to look like that. And that was my problem. I wanted it to be cute. And I wanted it to sound cute and seem long. And I'm like, oh God, I don't have 3 pages.
I just want to finish. Come on.
Oh, Brenda. And I know you feel me. Oh God. And I'm like, how in the world did I write all these pages for the other piece? And then it made me start questioning the book. And the one thing that Claudette kept telling me to do is stop doing word count. Because I was word counting every day. You were doing it too, Brenda. I was word counting every day. Oh my God, that's only 1,000 words? That ain't even a report. Boy, I was like dying. Oh. And the thing is, she kept saying, just get the story out. You've got to focus on the vision board for your book. You've got to focus on who you're writing this for. And you write like you're having a conversation with the people on your vision board. Oh, that was hard. The ebook was worse than and I still got to go back into the book, but the ebook, I'm telling you, and I felt you in that. And it was like, oh my God, when she submitted hers, and they're talking about, thank you, Jesus. Oh, Lord. It's just like, that was a weight off my shoulder. We couldn't get anything done. We weren't posting. We weren't doing anything because we were so stuck on that stuff. And then we have all of the other components that we're building to unveil in 2019 with the websites and all of this stuff. And it's like, it's a lot of stuff. And it's next level stuff. It's not little stuff. And we're like, oh my God, we got to have this, we got to have that, we got to do the thing in Teachable, we got to do the blah, 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 the online course and the webinar. Those are 2 different things. We got all of this stuff that we have lined up because we want to help people, because this is the stuff that we've had to live.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that we had to learn how to do, where I got to sit there and go through a tutorial. So I did the tutorial. I felt one right now. I did the tutorial so that you don't have to do the tutorial, people. I've done that for you. So when it comes time for you to do your part, I'm going to give that to you. Because I believe in what we're doing with the movement so much that it's not going to take you to have to go around the world. And I had to circumvent all the $30,000 classes and the $10,000 classes and all of this stuff that people kept telling me I needed to take this class and that class. One just called me while I was on here with y'all. They want $36,000 for me to do what I'm doing right now. They want me to get in that to guarantee me to launch. And I'm like, okay, the devil is a liar. And I started looking, and you got to take, in order for you to learn how to do this course and to put this together, you've got to take this class, and it's going to be $597 a month for that class. And I'm like, I kept looking and going and searching and finding the information. And it would just I would literally wake up every day and find a small course for free, or find a small course for like $20 or $100 or something like that, that gave me what I needed. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to condense all of this, and I'm going to give it away in a webinar. And then I'm going to take all of this that I went to the next level to get, and we're going to put that in a masterclass. Because people can grab so much information from this, we're going to give them all of this for free. And I said, that's a lot of information. I'm like, you know what? God's going to bless. I just believe wholeheartedly in giving. And I believe the more I give y'all, because I'm going to see everybody on here win, the more that we give you that we have already had to experience, But see, people don't like to tell you the truth. They don't like to tell you what they did to get there. They'll tell you, they'll paint this picture. Oh, and all you have to do is do tasty content. What the heck does tasty content mean? Please break that down. But they're not going to tell you what tasty content means. They're just going to tell you tasty content. But if you want to learn what tasty content is, you got to come to my class. Then you go to the class, they still ain't telling you. Been there, done that. Not doing that. No. I can sift through, I can almost tell you where your webinar is going. And I made it my business to make sure that ours don't follow suit with the stuff that's all fluff and smoke and mirrors and it's not information. No, you're getting some strong information and a whole bunch of freebies, because I believe that when we give y'all that, everybody's going to go to the next level. I do believe it. You're welcome, Brenda. So I want to hear from y'all. Let me hear from y'all real quick. I know we went over, but this was good. I want to hear from y'all. I'm muting. I unmuted you, Brenda.
You're always talking about you apologize. Don't ever apologize for going over. Ain't no over. You keep talking till you're done. No, one of the things I wanted to mention, because you mentioned about not as confident as me. For those that don't know me that's on here, I was not always this way.
No, you weren't.
I dealt with low self-esteem for many decades. To the point of I had situations where as a young teenager, even a young adult, my mom would send me to the store, but I would put my head down. So because in my eyes, my mind's eye, I thought I was ugly to the point of a monster and a freak. So I would hide with my head down was hiding so I wouldn't frighten people. I did not think I was capable of doing things. I thought it was ugly, didn't have any mindset. The only thing I thought I was good at was eating food. That was my mindset. But God changed some things when I surrendered. I acknowledged it, where the pain came from, what the pain was, and I surrendered it to Him. Now, it took time. And then it took some folk coming in my life, especially that one that just sipped her little juice. God put us together, and she ended up being my roommate for a while. So it helps to have somebody around. It was to the point of, you gave me a compliment, I did not believe it, and I sidestepped it. That's where I was. But I know my worth. I know my potential. I don't shy away from the greatness that God has invested in me.
Say it.
And the word great is not being arrogant. I understand who I am and whose I am. So I speak it. For example, 11th, 12th grade, I almost did not graduate because every Wednesday we had to do a current event. I would not get up in front of a class of 30 people. But then God, with a sense of humor, He calls me to preach. So now I preach before thousands. So that's what God does when you surrender, because we keep saying we want all that God has for us. Well, it requires surrender. It requires work. And the other part was, and I hear a lot of church folks say this when they start something, well, if it don't go right, then it's not God. Who in hell said that?
I know that's right.
That is not true.
That is not
true.
true.
Why do you think, because it's God ordained, God appointed, that you don't have to work for it, that there won't be obstacles? Any good parent is not going to make it smooth sailing, because God wants to build us. So we work. I mean, like y'all was talking with the books, and Lord knows Claudette is something else. Jesus. But I recommend her for anyone that wants to do a book. But my first book was in 2009. This is my second book in 2018. Things got in the way, and I gave license to a lot of things. Because we give license to people, and then when they cross over and then we get pissed, we're like, well, why are you saying that? Think back, you gave license. You signed off for them to have this opinion. You signed off that they could tell you whatever they wanted to tell you and not even care, because it's not said with love. It's said with them making themselves better. So then you got to inspect, What kind of folk you got around you? What are you attracting? Because the responsibility and the accountability still comes back to each and every one of us. So you have to assess, what are you attracting? And not just romantic relationships, with friendships, so-called friendships. What do they bring to the table? But if they just keep taking from your table, I think it's time for a purging. So tonight,
I revoke your license.
Exactly. When it comes to sight and envision, we can internalize that vision all day, but if you ain't done nothing with it, guess what you're saying? God lying. That's just how real it is. God is lying. I'm done.
I see you over there going, well, I saw Irina lips. Want to say something, Ebony?
You know I always want to say something. I'm over here. I'm just listening, and I'm mad that I came late to it. I left my phone home, so my alarm usually reminds me to come on, but I left my phone, so I didn't have it. By the time I got home, I looked and I seen the messages, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm looking for chargers and everything. But from what I was just taking in, it's just like, it's a lot, and it's just so healing. And I like, I gotta say all the time, I thank you and Missing It all the time for doing this, because, and I try to make sure I tune in every time, because y'all take time out of y'all day. Y'all take time out of what y'all doing to make sure everybody else is winning too. So that's why I try to make sure I'm tuning in, because I want to win with everybody too. I want to see everybody around me winning too. And everything that you've been talking on, and like my whole thing is just taking the action now. Before I was just confused, like where to go, what to do, this and that. And I'm trying to organize everything that's inside of within me. The fear, hurt, where it's coming from, how to fix the root where it's coming from, how to channel it, everything like that. And as Miss Brenda was saying, everything that she was saying is just exactly me. Exactly me.
Wow.
Exactly me. From point A, I didn't like to look at people. I used to always put myself down to make somebody else feel better. That's how bad it was. I would never look at myself in the mirror. I wouldn't. People are like, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful. And I didn't care what nobody said. I never believed it. I didn't have that confidence. And that, like, it's building back up in me, because I know I had to learn that, I can't wait for other people to build that inside of me. I got to build that confidence in myself and push myself. And I notice the people that actually strive is because, it's something that's within themselves that they push out of them,
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful for y'all. I wish I'm gonna go back and look at the recording later, but it's just truly a blessing. And I've actually learned some things just recently, these past couple weeks, the root of why I'm hurt a lot or why I don't trust. And that fixed a lot of things for me, to be honest with you. That fixed a whole lot for me. Things are like a whole different way now, like in how I communicate with people, it's like just a whole different thing. And that just happened within this week. And everything I'm going through, I'm trying to figure everything out, but it just happened in that time. And then in that moment, I started noticing that God was showing me little things every now and again to let me know, look, I got you. You on pace. You're doing the right thing. Just keep on pace, doing this, keep doing that. And I'm just doing that, and I'm just staying humble about it, and I'm gonna make sure I'm here every Wednesday.
Well, one thing I can say though, Ebony, we talked about you the other day, myself and Annette, and as a matter of fact, we were on talking to Glenda last week, and we were saying how we have watched you over these months that we've been doing Can We Talk, and how your entire presence and your countenance, we see so much growth and progression in your life. And even your brother tells me, and he thanks me. He said, I don't know what y'all do on Wednesday nights, but y'all do. Don't bother Ebony on Wednesday.
Because I'm telling you, back then it was just like, when I'm real nice, and then when you push me, and then up there, it is like kind of like no going back. You better leave me alone while it's like, while you got the chance, run. So now it's not like, it's very, very different now. And I've taken a whole lot of heat to myself. But yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Awesome. All righty. Anybody else? Sharon, Zakia, Marilyn, anybody want to say something? Carrie? Who else is on there? That's it. Zakia, Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Sharon probably on like 5 different calls. So Zakia, you just gonna be quiet.
Actually, I was talking, but on mute.
Oh, okay.
But this has just been so on point for me because of, like I said, this year has been like one long continuous day. And a couple of weeks back, I felt like I was bursting at the seams. So in my head, I needed a reset. So I just started demoting myself. Just started writing resignation letters and emails.
Wow.
And just wanting to demote, I needed a restart. But last week and this week has shown me that it's just a distraction, just to take me away. Like after my confession to Bren about, okay, I'm bursting at the seams and I just need to be quiet and I just need to reset. And I had all these resignation letters from family, friends, foes, jobs.
That's funny.
I just wanted to not. I wanted to reset, but I need to continue forward. And as you were speaking this evening, the same words that came to me a couple of weeks back, the same letters remain.
Wow.
Came back again. So I know that my little stinky deadline that I gave myself for things, I still have to remain even after that deadline. So
wow.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. That is something. Wow. Now I've written one. I remember back in the day, Bran, I wrote that one letter, and then I wrote several versions of that same letter. And over again.
Yes.
That's funny. Okay, well, Sharon, anybody else want to say something? Now's the opportunity. But, we just wanted to just say, let me tell you something. This night has been very uplifting because this particular discussion was one that I was extremely passionate about. We were talking about having this a while ago, but I think the timing was right for it, that we were able to get all the components together, because I know that a lot of times a lot of us are like just distracted by what we don't even know why. We don't know why. We don't know what's got our vision off and our focus off. But when we can look at everything from a practical standpoint and then look at it as to how amazing God is, that there is a spiritual example for everything, and that we can set that example over our lives and look at and evaluate. This is why I do this, and this is why this is happening, and this is why that's happening, and then we can see things a lot clearer, and it gives us that encouragement and that zeal to keep moving, because so often we want to stop. Sometimes we just want to stop. Sometimes we just need a break. Like I took a break yesterday. I stayed in bed and watched Netflix. But sometimes we need a break. But sometimes we just need to, we need that little ounce of encouragement and that little push, that little boost that says you can make it. You can do it. It's going to happen. Keep moving. And I just want to tell everybody on here, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up. Don't give up on that vision. Don't give up on it. Because you are so much closer than you think. And you can't look behind you. That's another thing too, and then we talked about that we're so busy we can't see what's ahead because we're so busy looking back. Stop turning around and looking back. Just keep moving. There was somebody preached one time that they saw something in the mirror. When you look through your rearview mirror on the side of your car, there's a little line down there that says objects are
appear smaller.
Yeah.
Dewey Smith. Yeah.
But and when they seem closer than they are, and they're not. They're far back. You can just see them.
Yeah.
But you keep moving, because guess what? It's behind you. You don't have to be concerned about that. Keep moving. And what mind you, the Holy Spirit will bring things back to your remembrance. And there's sometimes that you might use something as a testimony, or to bless somebody and say, I used to be there. But you don't have to rest there and live there. Oh, look at that pretty baby. You don't have to rest there and just be there.
Right.
You can keep moving past that present place and know that you have a destination. You're going somewhere. There is light at the end of the tunnel. It might not seem like it. It might not feel like it. It might seem like there's no hope. It might seem like you just can't make it, but you can, because you are still here, and you're here for a purpose. You have a purpose, each and every one of you, and I want to see you all win. So trust me, we're going to continue. We have, I think, how many more do we have? We have 2 more discussions.
2 more.
We have declutter and de-chatter. And then we have our last one this year is another interesting title. Y'all can thank me for these. Is check your BP, and we'll tell you what BP is when you get there. Okay. Because we all need to understand. We all have, everybody's got those things. Because going into 2019, I know we need to get moving, because we're going to bring in a whole lot of. We're going to take it to another level. We're going to go to a whole lot of other discussions where we're bringing people in, and we're going to have these discussions to help you get past your points. We're going to give out worksheets, and y'all gonna have homework. You got to pull out your pen and paper, or you got to print your little worksheet. We'll send it to you in your email. You can print it, or you work online. You do whatever you're going to do, whatever you got to do. We're going to get some things done. We're going to build some business plans, and we're going to build some revenue streams and modules. We're going to do some things that are going to help take us all to the next level, because we're all doing this together. I don't look at myself as a person who's extremely far ahead of anybody. No, because at the end of the day, I'm still walking through uncharted territories. I'm still walking through rough terrain. But I'm not afraid, and I'm not scared to go up first. I'm not scared to be Joshua and Caleb. I want to, because like we said, I want all my milk and honey. I want, like Glenda said, I want to eat it. I want to drink it. I want to bathe in it. I want to swim in it. I want to put it on my skin. I want it all. I want all my milk and honey. I want all of it. So I want to walk into this thing with that milk and honey mindset.
Yeah.
All right, good people?
All right.
Well, thank you all again so much. And, we'll be here. For those of you who are watching, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you all for joining.